Whenever you're ready, then.
Okay. What's up, guys? Welcome to another podcast, another episode. It's been quite a few weeks. Sorry about that. We've been technically doing a lot more spaces than YouTube videos, which we shouldn't be really doing. We said we would balance it out, but
We did.
yeah, we did. But yeah, here we are. But don't worry, we're back with another live podcast where you guys can ask me all your questions, and we're back with another new guest. This is the final one. I actually promise, guys. This is the final one. I promise. And it's Cam. Welcome, Cam.
Thank you guys for having me on.
You're talking about Willie Aubameyang, surely, or is it Pierre? Pierre signed a thing.
I can't believe that.
It's more Aubameyang than Martinelli, Dan. I'm sorry.
I'll say that.
To be fair, actually, no. It looks more like I see it. But anyway, it's how you. It doesn't matter. His name. He's not Aubameyang or Gabriel Martinelli. We got Cam. Welcome, Cam.
Thanks,
explain
guys.
a little about yourself.
Arsenal fan for a long time now. But you see, I'm a Tierney fan as well, so ready to get going. Got some good opinions on Arsenal, but that's it, really. Excited to get started with you guys.
Yeah, I'm very excited to have you on. I've been speaking to you lots of times in the chat, and your opinions are great, and that's one of the reasons why. Sometimes you can go against the wind, which is what I like, because it sparks conversation. So that's why I'm glad you're here. But let's start off with the Euros, especially with that big win. England winning 4-0 against Ukraine. Wow, what a win.
Wow.
And now we are genuinely having a chance of winning this thing. What have you made, Tony, about England's performance in the Euros so far?
To be honest, it's shocked me. Like, how well we are actually defensively more than anything. Like, I know loads of people are saying, why are we bringing back 4 different right backs? But you're seeing, like, Trippier using as a left wing back. Sometimes you're seeing Carl Walker play full back. Like, I'll be honest, I don't see, if we win the Euros, I don't see Trent coming in doing that similar role, to be honest. Not sure about you guys.
Yeah, I think, and I think that explains why Southgate had so much reservations on Trent. Not necessarily because he was afraid of his attacking ability. It's about what helps the team win games. And the big thing about tournament football, when you want to win it, you have to have structure and organization.
Yeah.
And it's basically doing the simple things right. So Trent, when you're looking at him, defensively, he's not the best out of the right backs. You need a right back that's competent in attack and is also competent in defense. And Trent's weakness is defense. When Liverpool play games, they target Trent's side because they know defensively he's a weakness. And that's come to hinder them. So it explains why Southgate had hindrance in Trent and why he's preferred the option that he has. And look how it's going well for him. He's proving everyone wrong. Who doubted him. Cam, what have you made of England's performance so far in the Euros?
I was Southgate out from when I first heard the rumours that Trent or Grealish was not going, because I felt that we had enough going forward to trouble teams. And I felt defensively would be the issue. I didn't realise now it's kind of we have a better defence now than attacking as the games went on. I wasn't happy with seeing not Grealish playing and playing Mason Mount, and Sterling was kind of frustrating me, but then he was getting the goals. But then it looked like the issue England was having was there's so many different systems in the Prem. Like, Man City have their system and Arsenal have their system. And it seems like we've kind of, the players are getting used to each other. And I think that Ukraine game showed that we can both play possession-based football and counter. Because I think Kane's now not dropping deep like he does at Tottenham. We just want him to stay in the box. And you see the amount of chances he is, because he's not on the halfway line trying to get him in. He's just sitting there. And I think now we have the squad, like Saka didn't play, but then Sancho can do a role. And then We can bring Grealish off the bench. You got Mason Mount. I think England got a very good chance. I just think now we just need to be more confident. I think we're getting the confidence. We're scoring more goals now and more of a threat now. I think Italy, maybe before that Ukraine goal would go England quite defensive. But now we're scored 4 goals. We can go, well, we can play defensive football and win 1-0 or come out and win 4-0. So I'm excited.
Do you know what I find funny? How people big up England, Italy, saying they're defensively structured, they're the best team, they're looking the best team. But look at England. Throughout the whole stage, they've conceded 0 goals. They haven't conceded a goal yet.
Yeah, I think if that was Italy, then I think more teams would be praising it. But because it's England, they go, oh, it's just because we're all parking behind the ball and we're not scoring and Harry Kane not getting no chances. And now we defend that well, and now we're scoring. You can't argue with us now.
Exactly. Look at teams like France. They were so disorganized. A team they should comfortably beat in Switzerland, they struggled. They struggled. They even lost.
I heard it was I think it was Julien Laurent and was saying that Giroud not being in the France team was the biggest problem because they had a system where Giroud would bring Mbappe, Griezmann all into the team, and bringing Benzema was just it's not worked the same because they're playing such a different style of football. But you can see with Southgate, he's kind of consistently had the same similar players, so they're all kind of used to what they're doing in their system. So one can drop in, one can drop out.
And also,
didn't Giroud? Sorry about that, but didn't Giroud have a fallout with Mbappe or something? Isn't that another reason why he wasn't called up?
Yeah, but I was just looking back more to the World Cup where Giroud would bring the ball in and bring Mbappe, Griezmann, exactly. And Benzema is a whole different type of football that he's not linking as much, but it's kind of he scores or Mbappe scores. But Giroud was like, he didn't score 1 goal, but he put everything on a plate for Mbappe, for Griezmann. So I think France just didn't have the right system going into the Euros. Whereas England, we kind of all through the games have all played the same team.
Yeah, and that's contributed to our success. Also, I'm glad is that helping us is not so much reliance on Harry Kane. You saw how 2018 we relied on Harry Kane for everything. This one, it seems a bit different. The new players are stepping up to the plate. You've got Saka, you've got Grealish, you've got Sancho, you've got Sterling, who's been absolutely excellent. He's really came of his own recently in this tournament.
I think player of the tournament at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. And it really shows how England have a lot of squad in depth, and it looks like to me like we're starting to come into every team has their golden generation. Belgium had it, France had it, Italy had it, Spain had it. Spain were famous for it. Remember when they won ridiculous the Euros, the World Cup back to back. It looks like I'm starting to see that we could have that potential golden era. Whether you think Southgate's the man or not, we have the players to culminate that era. It's just tournament football's mad, so you never know what can happen.
But I think what I praise Southgate is his man management, because how do you tell Jadon Sancho you're not going to play any games? And he played yesterday as if he's played every game. Like, there's no attitude. He's kind of got that out of the team. There's no ego. Where I think if he was a Premier League manager, you'd have players not happy. Like, there's nothing coming out of the camp saying Foden. Like, Foden ain't played since Scotland, is it? And
it was terrible, wasn't he?
He's training, and they all want to play. They all want to play. Like Chilwell, I thought he could have come on. He didn't come on. He's not made a face about it. Calvert-Lewin got dropped 1 week. Now he's back in the team and he's working hard. I think he's managed the squad well with the egos, and I think everyone's just playing for the badge.
Agreed. So to end off on the Euro section, let's Italy versus Spain. Who have you guys got to winning and why?
Let Tony go first.
Oh, God. Italy.
Okay.
I would say Spain, but then I've just realised we've got Morata.
What about you?
I think I'll go Spain because I think everything's starting to click. That the chances they're creating. Like, I didn't have Spain beating Croatia, and I didn't see Spain coming through that. I know the Switzerland game was on penalties, but I just see if Spain just had a shooting boots, I think they give Italy a hard game. because Italy gave up a lot of chances against Belgium because Lukaku missed that open goal, and then I can't remember the other one. I think was it Chadley or someone. Lukaku the header, and he missed that one as well. And I think if those two goals went in, I think it would be a different game. So I think I'll give Spain that, but I think it's such a 50-50 game.
The thing is, I would say
you can't go away and say a draw. So come on, it's 1-1 meal cam. Come on.
Who do you want England to
get? The thing is, Italy play a high pressing style. Yeah, that's why they opened.
I like it.
You're saying Italy play a high pressing style, so you saw that against Belgium. So they didn't care how many chances they gave up to Belgium. They were constantly going to press them and try and outwork Belgium. It's Spain generates so many chances, but the conversion rate is so low.
Yeah.
Who are you up for then?
I just spoke like a politician. I just realized.
Go on.
If Spain have their shooting boots on, Spain. If they don't, Italy.
I'm gonna say draw.
Just to set that I'm a politician. I'm gonna go for the politician answer.
Well,
if Spain have their shooting.
No, I would say about Spinazzola injury. I don't know how that's going to impact their team because
it's his name. He's a good player.
He's been quite quality and key to their performance, and I don't know how that may impact the team, like with rotation wise, who comes in or.
I can tell you, Chelsea were keeping an eye on him, but now he's injured. He's probably out for 5 to 6 months.
So I don't know how he may impact the game, and I'm shocked about if Thiago. I thought Thiago should be playing in that Spain team. But
Thiago didn't have that, in my opinion, not that great of a season. He only got he only got like a goal, didn't he? Did he get a goal last season? I can't remember.
Yeah, but he's got the quality. You know, he can unlock the door.
He can. But obviously, and everyone will say this. Obviously, he needs to adapt.
Yeah.
To English football, but just looking now at the stats from, would you say last season now? Yeah, last season. He got 1 goal, no assists. 0 assists.
He did.
Not in the Premier League.
It's an adjustment though, but we saw the quality he just changed Liverpool. When they started flowing, from February to the end of the season, I think everything just clicked with him in that team.
That is true. I think it will take time for him. Like, he is 30 now, which I just can't believe that is. I remember him being 21, 22, breaking up in Barcelona, breaking through, and now he's 30. It's just mind-blowing.
Do you think the legs could be an issue for Italy on the game on Tuesday? It's quite an older team.
Oh, yeah.
And Spain have got quite a young...
Especially with the style they play.
Traore, if he may come on. The amount of legs
especially with the style. The thing is about Adama Traore, his end product is terrible.
Yes.
It's inconsistent. It's not terrible. It's inconsistent. But yeah, you do make a good point because the way Italy play, you must be 100%. If you're not 100%, you can't play that style.
But here's a question for you guys: if England get Spain in the final, do you think we could beat them? Spain.
Yeah. I think.
But if we get Italy,
I think we can beat both of them. Because what I was trying to say, I think I said it to Dan, was we know what both teams will play, and I think we're still unpredictable. But I don't know. Italy don't know what England could do. We could sit deep, or we can come out. And I think we have the squad that, let's say, for example, we play Sancho, hasn't had a bad game. We could bring Foden on. We could bring Grealish on. Italy haven't got that quality to bring potential. The Belgium game, they bring on Berardi. Locatelli didn't come on,
no,
and it was still flat. I think we still have the impact. And we're at Wembley as well. That's the advantage.
Well, I'm just looking. Like, last time we played Spain, we beat them 3-2. And that was in 2018. Compared to Italy, 2018, a 1-1 draw. So,
was that the Spain game when we won on Sky Sports? Was it the...
It was when we went like 3-0 up. And I think
yeah. When Kane was just knocking that over the top to Rashford and Sterling.
Yeah, it was that game when Ramos scored last minute.
Yeah.
But then last time we played Italy was in 2018 and we drew 1-1. So I think we've got a chance.
I think what we have a chance over everyone is our team doesn't look fatiguing.
But
Like
the
I saw
thing is-
Denmark, they're fatiguing a bit now.
Denmark.
But the thing is about Denmark, they've got an emotional connection. You can't
Yeah.
underestimate a team with emotional connection because it's
Okay.
kind of like running on adrenaline. They're running on adrenaline. They know what they're fighting for. They're gonna fight for every ball. So, but we're here sitting around talking about the final. But Denmark
Yes,
will be no marks. It's gonna be
I'm
an
just-
incredibly hard game.
I
Well,
think
I'm
they're
just looking
fatiguing though.
the Arteta famous 3-4-3. If you guys can see that, that's how they play.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure we could do some damage to that, but their wing backs are looking pretty good. But I'll be honest, I wouldn't mind if that. I don't want to say his name. That left wing back from Atalanta.
He's
I
quality.
wouldn't mind
cross.
if Arsenal got him, but obviously we're going for Tavares. But
So what
The
do
thing
you
is,
think?
yeah,
England will go
I'll-
3 at the back to match them, or we do what we did Ukraine and play wide?
I think he'll go 4 at the back. He's gonna
I
go
think it'll go
ball.
4. I think Saka will come back in for Sancho though. I think it'll be the same lineup with Sancho dropping out for Saka. That's what I feel.
I think is this the player you're talking about? Oh, I think he's saying this player's
Yeah, I didn't want to say his name. Mahili. I don't want to offend any Danish people, but he is pretty quality.
So what
you
would
saw-
you- yeah?
did you watch the Denmark game? The
Yeah.
last,
No, I didn't.
that
I
cross
didn't.
to prevent the second goal was pretty good.
Yeah, De
It was
Bruyne
really
arrest.
super foot as well.
But I saw they were flagging the last half an hour against Czech Republic. That's why I think we have an advantage. That they have an 11. I don't see them having a squad. And they're
True.
flagging quite a lot now. And that
to think
Wembley
that-
pitch is a big pitch to play on.
And Schmeichel's pretty good though, isn't he? Schmeichel, Højbjerg, Delaney, I think Vestergaard, even though he's slow, I'd say he's pretty decent. We'll see.
So what would your team be for that against Denmark? Who would start for you? Let's start with the guest Cam. Who would start for you against England? And what formation would you play?
I would drop Kyle Walker as the first one. And I'd play Rhys James because I think Kyle Walker was quite suspect as the whole game against Ukraine. I don't think his head's in it or just losing a bit of focus. I'd leave Stones, Maguire, Shaw. I'd leave the 2. I'd play Sterling, Grealish, Saka, and play Kane because I think how we're going to catch Denmark is Højbjerg and Delaney, and the amount of yellow cards we could rack up against them. Just getting fouls, and the legs around them, and then bring on Sancho, bring on the Mount, and then run around them again in the second half. So I'd bring Grealish in and Saka.
Okay, Tony, what about you?
Keep it the same.
Wait, Cam, what formation is that? Cam, what formation is
Yeah.
that, by the way?
4-2-3-1.
Okay. Okay. Tony, what about you?
As Gary Neville said, keep it the same. Drop Sancho for Saka. Then I'll be all right. I'm not being Arsenal biased, but I think like Saka could do better on the wing. You know, like I'm not saying Sancho's bad, but like Saka is like a little weasel, isn't he? We all 3 of us know that Saka's like a weasel. Like he runs into those spaces. He was, even though Rudiger had a
Not only that, one thing he's better than Sancho at, which is I agree with you, Tony, keep the same team but swap him for Saka.
That's
Is
all I
that
would do.
Saka's more defensively responsible, defensively aware.
Yeah.
So he'll drop back less than Sancho. Sancho's more of a creative player.
And I would like to also say, even though he hasn't started any games, Jordan Henderson's had a good tournament as well. Coming off the bench, he had a good game. Even though he scored his first goal for England, he did look comfortable. Like I wouldn't even mind if, say, Rice or Phillips gets rested for the final and bring Henderson in.
Nah, you can't. That's key. I think Phillips and Rice got that.
Yeah, but the thing is, if one of them gets a yellow card, they're suspended for the final.
No, that's because it got erased, didn't it? Because that's why Rice came off last night. Well,
they both had yellow cards. They would miss if they both got yellow cards. They would have been suspended for the semi-final. I thought.
yeah, but it got erased after the
does
Ukraine
it?
game. Yeah. That's why he pulled
Okay, if
half
not,
time off.
then start them 2 then. I just thought it was still the
yeah.
case. If they were, one of them could get suspended. Obviously, Phillips is the more tackler out of the two. I would have rested Phillips then for Henderson, but
I like Phillips. He's impressed me a lot this tournament.
Would you take him at Arsenal though?
All day. I'd say if you're talking about 40 mil for Sanchez, I'd pay 40 mil for Phillips. I think.
Over Basuma though?
No. But I'm talking about if we paid Sanchez for 40 mil from the Portuguese one, then I would take Phillips. Because I think he's got it all.
Okay, see, I see your point here. I don't rate Sanchez. The reason why I don't rate since we're talking about Arsenal transfers, let's get into Arsenal transfers. I don't rate Sanchez, especially with the price of 40 mil. We have Sanchez and Partey. We don't need another Partey, if that makes sense. Plus, bear in mind, it also makes double no sense because in the fact we've got Lokonga. I don't think you guys realize how talented Lokonga is.
He's looking good.
It's legit like Arsenal went, okay, find me the closest player under 21 that is closest to Partey. Exactly Lokonga, i.e. Lokonga. That's what it gives you. Look at his stats compared to Partey. It is ridiculous how close they are. It's almost like Arsenal went on a full scouting mission to look for a young version of Partey, and that's what they got on Lokonga. So, go on, Twin.
And also what people, I don't think, well, unless you look really in depth with him, he has also got the leadership qualities at such a young age. But he's even been to Anderlecht at the age of, how old is he, 21, 22?
Yeah, I'd say that.
I'm just getting up some stats regarding Lokonga and Partey. Continue talking, Daniel or Tam.
I would say on Lokonga, I like that signing because he was in the Belgium squad, and you can't be a bad player if you're in that midfield selected for Belgium. And Anderlecht do make good players. Like, was it Tillemans has come out of their academy?
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Vincent Kompany. I know, and he started as a central midfielder.
And then obviously I know.
Not to mention, you don't understand how many teams Arsenal thought out to get him done. They had to approach the players. They had to approach the player immediately first. Bayern were interested. Atalanta were interested. Ajax were interested. Dortmund were interested. Monaco were interested. Lille were interested. Lille wanted him as Samare's replacement. That's just how highly he was. Yeah, exactly. That's how highly rated he is. That's how many clubs wanted him. It was a matter of choice that Arsenal approached him first. They literally had to do their groundwork for this one. And I think we've got a player with a brilliant potential, which for me makes even more sense, makes even more no sense for us going for Sanchez for 40 million. It's like a waste of money. You're just spending money for the sake of it.
And I think Arteta's trying to get a younger core so he can kind of build his philosophy around, because maybe his issue was a bit arrogance that people wanted to go with their style. But I think if he gets like the Ben Whites, the Lokongas, the young, they would be more willing to learn. That's what you can see with Tierney. He would say nothing bad about Arteta. He was happy to even play as a centre back in the back five. So I think we're trying to go for more younger age to try and grow them into his own style. And I think I like the signing. I do.
Not only that, I think when Arsenal, from what I'm told, Arsenal want to target profiles that are young, so that have quality at a young age, which Lokonga has, but has the potential to be even world-class players. A young squad, similar to how like Man City, when they bought players, they bought young players. So when they finally hit the prime all together, they built like a super squad.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. And that's what they're targeting in Lokonga. Which is also why they wanted Camara as well, because Camara is a defensive sitter. It's like, say Basuma's the finished article, then you have the raw part in Camara. So the plan is, from what I'm told, Lokonga Partey, for when Partey goes AFCON, Lokonga will be there, and then you have Basuma and Camara. So if Basuma goes, you have Camara there. Two young players who are learning off Basuma and Partey, the finished article of the profiles they play at. So they're watching players that are there, they're at the peak. They're watching how they play, how they play some passes, what to do, what not to do. So then when they fill in, it's like being understudy. So when they fill in, they become even better than the person they're copying.
Yeah.
I think I can do it on here. I'm not sure. I think you can screen share on here. I can show these stats that I've just been doing.
I think that would have been beneficial. We had Europa because then they would have had the same amount of games. But I know we're only playing in the Prem now, or the League Cup is kind of limiting the amount of game time they may have or stepping up. But if they had the Europa, we know we could drop 2 or 3 of them in the team. And
we have the FA Cup and the League Cup.
That's like what, September and January. So
still better than none.
No, but if we had European football, they would
play a lot more.
That's why you've seen ESR and Saka when they were younger. We would see them playing, get more game time.
Wait, guys, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. I was just doing these. Where was it? I was just saying if it shows. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Look at these stats that Lukonga's producing. I've just been looking quite positively how, even though I'm not saying Lukonga is Xhaka's replacement, but the interceptions are pretty lethal.
Lukonga is a conductor 8. He will be that conductor 8 profile that Partey is.
But look at the ball recoveries. I know it's the Belgian.
That's what I mean. Lukonga is different class, different gravy. When I'm
look, he's even got Dan. Look at this. Even he's got more interceptions than Xhaka, Partey, and El Neni. Right up the options.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, I saw him on YouTube, and I saw. YouTube kind of can hide the player, but the fact is positioning, it doesn't matter what league you're playing in, he kind of has the understanding of his. I watch most of his tackling and positioning more than just the highlight reel. So it looks like he's got his positioning.
He seems very intelligent.
Yeah, for a young man.
So no wonder why he's captain, and no wonder why Arteta likes him. And I'm so excited for Lukonga. I think it's an understatement that I'm excited because I'm watching this guy who's already performing at the level he is now. So imagine just him getting older. He's not even hit his peak yet. He's still very young. So imagine him getting older, learning how to maybe be more attack-minded, attack more with more aggression. So, I think it's much better.
Is he over 6 foot? So I think he's got the physicality to handle.
He's 6 foot.
Yeah,
he's 6 foot.
That's what I was thinking.
160 pounds.
Something because I know. I think I kind of seem like when we first saw Torreira, we go, oh wow, look at the stats, but you can see Torreira had the physicality to handle the Prem.
Yeah, it was small, wasn't he? Very small.
But this Lukonga, if he's 6'1", 6 foot, you can see he kind of could grow in the Prem. He wouldn't get out-bodied or out-muscled compared to
especially when he bulks.
Yeah, exactly.
When he bulks up. Enough about Lukonga. We've spoken about Lukonga. We've spoken about Camara. Let's talk into Nuno Tavares. The left back that I didn't want, not because of his ability, just because I was afraid. You know how English media portray things, especially with Arsenal. And this guy has kind of been in the headlines. 1 for calling his teammate rubbish, and 2 for reasons you guys know about.
We'll just say dog-related stuff.
Let's just say he's very much a fan of dogs. So I wanted to get your thoughts on the signing of Nuno Tavares.
Half a season too late, in my opinion. It should have been done January last year. Not him, just any left back cover, in my opinion. Because I think Tierney, we know he kind of breaks down. So I think when had played Xhaka back there, it didn't really work. But I would have taken Bertrand, and I know people would have gone, he's too old or, he's finished. But I thought he's got experience at the Prem, and I don't think he's a finished player because Leicester wouldn't sign him if he was finished. And I think on a 2-year deal, well, I'm happy we bring him in. He looks like he's got all the physical attributes to play, and I'm excited. I think it gives Tierney not much pressure to stay fit. If he's injured, instead of trying to play on an injury and make it worse. So good scout. And Benfica make good fullbacks, or in Portugal they have quite good fullbacks out of Portugal. So good signing.
What about you, Tony? I know you have a few stats on Tavares. So,
what do I think of Tavares? I think it's, even though he has got a bad off-the-pitch reputation, I think he's a good signing. I'll be honest. I'm not saying he's going to be like Tierney 2.0, but I have confidence in him. He is. I would say he's not exactly the Tierney 2.0, but I would say he's fairly similar. He's tall, he's got good aerial duel success, which I'm just getting up now. Where is it?
And do you think you can't? It's hard. You can't get a backup fullback for less than £8 million in this market, as well.
Yeah, it's
For
very
someone
good
to say
business.
you're going to sit on the bench. You're going to sit on the bench as well, and you're going to get someone on low wages for less than £8 million. It's a
Wait, can you see it?
crazy deal.
Can you see it, guys? I'm not sure.
Wait, there we go.
Here it comes. Yeah.
Like, I know you're probably thinking, why have I put Luke Shaw in? It's just because, obviously, I would say he was the best Premier League left back last season. In comparison. Like, his aerial duel success is good. Like, even ground duels is fantastic. Like, chances created, crossing accuracy is higher than Tierney's. His take-on success is pretty much similar. You've got aerial duels is better than Tierney. Chances created is significantly less than Tierney. I know it's obviously a small amount of data, which I must stress. But still, from that, I think it looks pretty good signing. Like, even the pass accuracy is pretty accurate.
Yeah. I think it's much
why
better
would you-
offensive.
So
fullback.
why would you say Portuguese Benfica fans are not really happy with him? They've been very vocal about him.
The thing is,
do you,
what I've heard is obviously that he's, as you said, he's said about his teammates not being that great. And obviously, he's had some controversy in the past. But I think, I'm not saying as a FIFA avid fan, but obviously he is a high potential player for numerous reasons. Like, I think, like, Benfica are a fussy bunch of fans, in my opinion. Like, I heard a few years ago that, have you guys heard of Pizzi, that central midfielder?
Yeah.
They all wanted him to leave after saying something. And now he's their captain, and they like him a lot. Like, I think they just, it's like us. Like, say if Aubameyang has a rough few games, we want him sold. I think we're kind of similar in a way. Like, 1 minute we like them, 1 minute we hate them. I think they would be regretting getting rid of him, especially at 21. And I think also, as Tam said, even though Bertrand is going to Leicester, they were also looking at Nuno Tavares as a backup. They were willing to pay 12 million euros. We must stress that. But we're getting him for eight. I'm just saying, Nuno Tavares was on the list for a few Premier League clubs. Brighton, Southampton wanting him. West Ham had feeders in him. Leicester, like 4 other Premier League clubs were interested. So it's not, in my opinion, I wouldn't have gone with Nuno Tavares. I would have gone with Nuno, I think it's, tell me if I'm wrong, Nuno Mendes from Sporting. But I still
The thing is, I always knew Nuno Mendes was so unlikely because how good he is. He's too good to be a backup. So
yeah,
I see him going to City, if anything. But I'm just saying, if I was going for a Portuguese player, if I had no reservations over it, I would have gone with Nuno Mendes. Second choice Tavares, but still, Tavares I feel like will be a good player in a few years. With Tierney being his backup, I mean his leader, like the person he wants to overtake, I think he will improve his game with Tierney.
and you can play in a 5 and in a 4. So
And he's tall. I think that's where people. Well, no, I'm saying he's tall because like Arteta, when Arteta goes 5 at the back, you see Tierney being that left centre back sometimes, don't you?
Oh yeah, so he can defend as well.
So he can also slightly defend. I know those YouTube videos are showing he can't really defend. But he's 6 foot.
The modern fullback now, their defending is not their first priority now in football. It's what
That's
you
what
can do
makes,
on the other half of the pitch.
that's what makes Tierney so rare. Because
Tierney's 5'10", Tavares is 6 foot. It's another 2 inches. I know. Obviously, that could make a huge difference if Arteta goes back to back 5 or back 3. That left centre back is going to be good. Like, I'm just looking now.
There's an option, yeah.
Wait, did Arteta start at 5 at the back this season?
No, Fulham game. I think he played a. No, it was maybe West Ham. Was it?
No,
he played 5 against West Ham when we won 2-1.
Stuck with the thing is about Arteta. At the start of the season, he tried to experiment, see if they could adapt to his style with the 5 at the back. He started with the 5 at the back at Fulham. The next game, he moved on to a 4. Didn't work out so much, so he went back to a 3.
But no, he did play 5 against West Ham.
Oh,
I
okay.
can remember.
Because Kolasinac was playing in a back three with Gabriel Holding, and Saka was playing as a wing back.
But this is where I would like to stress this to you guys. You know, when Arteta plays the 5 at the back, like I'm not saying it will never happen again. I'm just looking. Tierney was that left centre back, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I'm just looking. According to this, last season, Tierney had 30% aerial duel success, compared to Tavares 71.43. I think that is a huge difference.
Yeah. He's got the physical attributes to do well in this.
That's what I mean. I think he'll be like the Kolasinac, but somewhat quick.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying Kolasinac. I didn't particularly like Kolasinac. Don't get me wrong, but I think he will be like the quicker, more strength version of Kolasinac eventually.
And look at the wages he could be getting. I know Benfica offer quite low wages, so.
Well, it's
You can
only
get
about 20 to 40 grand a week. I know that. It's very low.
It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
What do you think, Dan?
What was the question? I didn't hear it. Sorry.
I'm just talking about the wages.
When Tierney plays at the 5 back, he's always the left centre back. He only got 30% aerial duel success compared to Tavares 71%. Like, I think that is
Yeah, he's
why.
strong, isn't he?
Yeah, Arteta wanted a long-term replacement that is tall, obviously cheap. Because obviously it wasn't. It was a bit of a high priority, but it wasn't at the same time. Like, you wouldn't spend 30 million on a backup left back. I don't think.
That's why. Also, another reason why it makes sense why they didn't go for like players like Nuno Mendes, because Nuno Mendes would have been costing 40 million, especially when we have other priorities. You don't think it would have cost 40 million?
No, I don't see us paying 40 million for a backup left back. We're not Man
Exactly,
City. We can't
that's-
afford to be doing that.
That's exactly what I mean. Why Tavares made all the sense in the world to Arsenal. So
Yeah.
Do you think Arsenal are looking at players that can have resale value if they're not successful?
Definitely.
Because
You would-
like with Willian,
I'm not.
we bring him in, and
that's
we know
exactly
Yeah.
why they're targeting younger profiles.
I'm just saying.
Willian was seen as
A leader.
instant to walk into
yeah,
the
exactly.
team.
They
I
thought
understood
he
it.
was a leader.
But I think
It
now we're
just
looking
didn't
at
work.
But I have
There's no
heard
resale.
some things, but I'm not sure if I should get fans excited because I will be slated like mad if it happens. But I've heard that. Tell me if I'm wrong, Daniel. Termination. That's what I'm going to say.
Where did you hear
Can't
that
do that.
from?
So,
What, of his contract? Oh,
Simon was
You know
telling
that-
me
no,
his
it is.
contract.
I said it in the chat, mate.
I love Simon so much, but sometimes this guy. Oh my days.
He was saying they haven't
Yeah.
talked. But I've heard there are some moves potentially. They are looking at clubs. Obviously, to help them.
Like, I
The
would
thing
say
is,
if I
the
got
thing
rid
is
of
about
him-
Willian, it's the wages he commands of other clubs. Like the wages he asked was ridiculous.
No, I
Especially
think
the one-
into Miami have actually no now.
He was asking 4 times what they offered to their top guy anyway. 4 times. It's crazy.
He's not Messi, is he?
Nah.
I don't know. But I like, if we were to replace him, I'd like the guy that was at Belgium, the one that looks a bit like Sadio Mane, who played the other night on the wing. who
Oh,
won the
Jeremy
penalty.
Doku.
He looks
He's
quality.
looking tidy, but I'm just going to say another Premier League club won him.
On who?
I think we know what we're talking about.
What club you want? What Liverpool.
Yeah. Sadio Mane part 2.
No, you do want him badly.
Yeah.
On who?
Jeremy Doku.
The guy who
Oh,
played
yeah,
for Belgium
they-
on the wing.
Yeah, they really want him. They really want
I
him.
really
He
want
looks
him.
quality.
19 as well.
They see him as Doku seen as Mane's future replacement, and because of how raw he is, Mane is the perfect leader for him. You have those like mentors.
They're both so
Yeah,
similar.
yeah, exactly. So it's no surprise Liverpool wants him.
Well, Liverpool have got a great scouting team. Don't get me wrong. Like they do know how to negotiate. Like, come on, Solanke for 20 million. They sold him for.
Do you think they got money this summer?
I've heard they haven't
No.
got much money.
I don't think they do.
I've heard they haven't got much money, especially after getting Konate done. And I've heard Konate was a stretch.
I don't get the Konate deal. If I'm Liverpool,
I would have gone with Kapak. I think Kapak did a decent job.
It's not, but I know even Dan may notice that. Liverpool, they kind of research their players for the injury record, the amount of games they play, and Konate's got probably one of the worst injury records in Europe. Like the amount of injuries he has or goes
we
to.
were linked with him,
Yeah,
weren't we?
especially you think it makes more sense for them to go for Kabak. Not only that, because Kanate's injury record, Kanate, you
horrible.
say his injury record's already horrible. So imagine if he plays a few games, he'll get injured again, and they already have injury-prone centre backs, especially with Van Dijk, Joe Gomez just starting to come back from injury. They are, especially when everybody knows when you come back from injury, that's when you're most likely to catch another
Acceptable.
injury.
Exactly.
Well, the thing
So-
is, I've heard that. I know this is. I know how much Kabak would have cost Liverpool, and I'm just baffled. Like Konate was. How much was Konate? 35.
Yeah, instant, isn't it? One instalment. It was straight 35 mil.
Let's just say Kabak was less than 20 million.
Kabak's awful. He's awful.
But I think he did a stable job.
I think Nat Phillips is better than Kabak.
Yeah, but we're not a Liverpool.
That Phillips is
channel,
going
are we?
to
Hang on, guys, we're forgetting the point. We're not a Liverpool channel. We're not ranting
No,
about.
but I'm just saying.
No,
I
but we're a
don't-
football channel.
He
We're a football channel.
did shock me. There was a lot of hype around him 2 years ago.
Well, when he got a few
That-
stars, he
he's
was
a-
20. But
It's because Kabak is a destroyer. He's a stopper. You know, you have your
Yeah.
ball playing centre back, you have your general centre back. The ball playing centre back is the fancy one, like the one we all fall in love with, Saliba. Those are like the Rolls Royce defender. Those defenders are hard to find because they are technically gifted, very technically gifted. You have centre backs like Kabak who are not. That's not their instinct.
That's not their game.
He's a stopper. It's not their game. And playing in that level team, you have to be a ball playing centre back. Like Konate, he's a ball playing centre back. If his injury record wasn't so bad, it'd make perfect sense because he's a Rolls Royce defender. So is Upamecano. So is Saliba will be. We'll get onto that because I know we've all heard the news about Saliba going Marseille. And don't worry, it's not an option to buy. It's
Yes.
the French news outlets, when it comes to Arsenal,
risky.
I think they do it
Always
just for a
against-
reaction. They do it for a
yeah,
reaction.
always again. It's because they know Arsenal fans are going to react to it. So, but yeah, we talk about Saliba, that type of mold. So that's why Kabak didn't work out.
We're talking
In
about
terms of
Liverpool.
playing,
One more.
Yeah.
I thought they were after Ben White 2 years ago. Remember that big thing when he was at Leeds and Brighton and Liverpool? I thought that would have been a better signing.
As well.
That's because-
Interesting.
Ben White as I said, he's a Rolls Royce defender, but just English version. He has English tax on him basically because he's English. He's going to cost a lot more.
Well, I
He's a
think
very
he-
good defender.
But
Yeah,
Liverpool
and he
wanted
can
him,
play-
though. That's my thing.
and so did Leeds.
Yeah. They were
Leeds
both
want-
throwing
Leeds
crazy
are
money
paying
at him.
highest, which is kind of crazy to think.
The
Like,
thing
when
is-
we loaned him in, they wanted to buy him. Brighton wanted 50 million. Then
The thing is, I'm so confident with the Ben White deal. All these rumors to me are
yeah, it's all but
literally
done.
like this,
I like
because
it.
we've had contact from his agent. I didn't like, to be honest. Like, you know, Tony, we've literally been in contact with his agent.
Yeah,
We've
like,
literally been in contact with his agent. So
I
I
mean-
have no. These rumors literally mean this. It's literally this in my ears, in my eyes.
Like,
So
in a way, if it's true that Chelsea, City, Everton, who's the other club you said, Ham? You said another club, Chelsea.
Oh, I know that. Oh, she said City and Chelsea actively and Everton was
City, Chelsea,
lurking.
and Everton apparently came up a few days ago.
to be
I think
fair,
that's
of course,
interest,
of
but not
course,
serious.
it's media attention because Ben White's at the Euros, so we won't know any deal will not be obviously completed until after the Euros because that's
But
every
then-
player is so focused on it now.
But
So
you
this
say
is like
that,
the
but
perfect time.
But you say that, but what about Sancho? How come that got done?
That's been worked on for like a
Do you
year,
know
though,
how-
hasn't it?
Do you know how long Man United?
It was over a
my
year.
days.
It's like their
It's-
biggest
it's-
dream to happen, which I think.
By the way,
personally-
can I just say, yeah, how can you spend almost 2 years negotiating a signing, finally getting it over the line, and that's the announcement they did? What a terrible announcement! Did you see that?
It's
I
true.
li-
Was
Look
it
how
in
Arsenal-
that new kit?
yeah, and look how Arsenal announced their players. It could be just like we announced Rodderson better than we announced better than Man United announced Jadon Sancho.
Even Matt Ryan.
Yeah, even Matt Ryan.
Did you hear
I
about
just
him
thought-
today, Matt?
Now I
Ryan?
say it, even Tierney's contract extension.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
They got Frimpong to do that, announce it, which I think was fantastic.
I think Aubameyang's the best announcement video we've done. Probably.
What that? Oh,
Yeah.
that was all. I liked it, but it was so. I don't know. And that is his last contract at Arsenal. We know that. So.
No, not that one. No, when he first signed with Mkhitaryan, and it got.
Oh, I
leaked,
thought you
they
meant red time.
No.
Yeah, you want to come out
Yeah,
here?
yeah, and then they
That
in
was pretty
Mkhitaryan's mouth, and we all could lip read it.
Yeah. That was quite sound. But that was when we had Arsene Wenger. I'm just saying. Not even though he was not in charge at all of the transfer announcements. Did the fridge begit? Stick it in the background.
So I know we talk about other teams, but what's going on with Chelsea? I'm very sure they've not moved for anyone big. Like, I know Hakimi was the big one, and that just fell through. And it's kind of like they need to build on their team if they want to try and compete for the big honours this upcoming season. Like, I know it's Haaland now, but I don't see Haaland going this summer.
Well, I don't see Haaland going to Chelsea. Now, I've heard and I know Daniel laughs every time I mention this, especially as we were talking about Spain. Now, I've heard Haaland's backup, if they don't get Haaland, is João Moreno from Villarreal. I've heard
Chelsea
so
fans will
many
not be happy
things.
with that.
But that's like saying, not confirmed anything, but it's like saying Haaland's replacement for Real Madrid is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang.
But I've also heard that I know their priority is their midfield. They really want them. They want either Declan Rice. They want a Declan Rice, dare I say it.
Did you not read the Athletic report? That's why Lampard got sacked, because Chelsea said they would not go back and buy a guy they had in their academy.
The reason why that they sacked him because of the Declan Rice is because he kept badgering on, saying he will use him at centre-back. He wanted him as a centre-back.
Yeah, he wanted to use him as a centre-back. He thought he was a centre-back.
Yeah, but even though Chelsea said they would not spend 80 mil on a guy that was in their academy.
Yeah, exactly. Frank Lampard had a lot of targets. It wasn't just Declan Rice he wanted. Did you guys know he wanted Aubameyang?
Aubameyang, yeah. It was the Athletic reported it, didn't they?
He wanted Aubameyang.
He
wanted players such as
in
Aubameyang.
January. Yeah, it was in January he wanted to sign him.
And they didn't get him. So,
but yeah, I've heard Declan Rice is an option. I've also heard that.
Not only that, but the thing is, what made it worse is, especially with the Euros, you know how the Euros have an effect on players' prices. We've seen that, obviously, the case with Locatelli, how now after playing for one good tournament game, which, by the way, we haven't seen him again, we're hearing all the rumours that bid 40 million euros. Oh, my days. I really don't want this guy. I really don't want him. And I hope we don't. I haven't heard anything on it, so I hope we don't. But you see already.
The last thing I heard was Juve said he's going Juve.
He is going Juve.
Yeah, he wants to. But talking about, there is also. This is where I think they need. You were saying about Chelsea. Why is it gone so quiet? They're also going for a goalkeeper as backup. They want to get rid of Kepa. They want to get someone that Petr does also agree with. Like, like Edouard Mendy, I think everyone knows this. Tell me if I'm wrong, was a Petr signing.
Yeah, Rennes. He had the connection with Rennes.
He wants another goalkeeper to replace Kepa, and that goalkeeper I've heard is Pavlenka from Werder Bremen. As he's checked himself, he really Petr sees him as a perfect backup instead of Kepa.
To be fair, he's a good goalkeeper, to be fair, Pavlenka.
And he's 29, I believe. So I think
especially back to Declan Rice. Do you know how much they were charging for how much West Ham are charging for Declan Rice now? Especially with this Euro price tag on him. They're charging 100 million. 100 million for him. 100 million. 100 million euros for Declan Rice.
But why do I see Chelsea try and getting him for 60? I see them getting in. I can see Chelsea actually bargaining it down. But obviously, it
Because
depends.
West Ham won 100, so Chelsea are going to look at alternatives. One alternative is
So,
what's his name? No,
so
actually, that Sal is a Liverpool target in case they
and
don't.
Verratti. Oh, you're thinking
Sal,
of that French guy, aren't you? Army.
yes, that's it.
Oh, from Monaco.
Great
Yeah,
stuff.
that's it.
What's his name? I know. What's his name? Who's the Arsenal legend that plays for Monaco now? Shit.
Well, Fabregas.
That's it. Fabregas has had a
Fabregas.
good say in him. He's suggesting Chelsea go for him. But I know Tuchurami's still. I've heard 40 million euros for him.
That's what I mean. He's a cheap alternative.
Yeah.
Way cheaper.
Like, I'll be honest with you, mate. Would you rather? Like, I know we're looking at Camera, but wouldn't you be surprised that he's not? They're not.
No,
Camavinga.
not targeting.
No, Kamara.
Oh, Kamara.
I would rather have. I'm hoping we get Kamara, but I'm just saying, why in Chelsea?
Playtime. He may not get enough game time.
Kamara's a sitter. It's different profiles when you're describing Kamara and Tuchurami. Tuchurami is a box-to-box midfielder.
Allow me, that's it.
This is the guy we're talking about. Let me see if I can get it up.
We're talking about goalkeepers. What's going on with our situation with keepers?
Well, Matt
Ryan's
Ryan,
going
he's
to
not
Sociedad.
going to Arsenal. I can tell
We're
you that.
Sociedad now.
Yeah, that came out of the blue. I was told Celtic.
No, I wasn't surprised.
No, I mean,
I knew he was going to go to Spain. To be honest, it kind of makes sense, especially with the non-home growth issue we have right now.
He did play at Valencia before. Was he at Valencia?
So I wasn't surprised. It was either Spain, Scotland, or England.
Ghent. Is it Genk or Ghent? Genk.
I'll take Johnson if I had to take a keeper.
Well, I've heard that. Well, tell me if I'm wrong, Dan, but isn't it Ramsdale then Johnson?
Ramsdale, Arsenal are not going to pay 40 million that the Sheffield United are asking for.
So we're going to go for Johnson then. I was told
Johnson is seen as a cheap. Don't worry, it doesn't affect the Onana deal. The thing is about Onana, Arsenal will not go for Onana, especially now that Ajax have raised the price. Which his ban is reduced and his contract is ending. It makes no sense. And he's not going to even play for half the time. He won't even be able to train.
And I would like to stress, and this is where people are getting like iffy with me about it. How come Inter Milan have already nearly agreed a deal? It is technically, I'm not sure if I'm right in saying this, but it is, they cannot get him for free. Because obviously it's 6 months left.
Definitely till January 2022, don't they?
No, but they're saying they're going to try and line up the bid ready for free now. Italian media are saying, but I think that's wrong. They can't do that. They can only get him for free and talk directly to his agent and negotiate a contract ready for the following season in January. They can't do it now. That's what I've heard.
Oh yeah, mate, it makes no. That's how you know the rumors are rubbish when they're talking about his free. His contract's not ended yet, so they don't actually. How can they get him for free when their contract's not ended? They haven't even spoken to the club. That it just doesn't make any sense. Basically, I think Arsenal are playing the long game, and in my opinion, any goalkeeper that comes in is only going to be a stopgap. Because at the end of the day, Arsenal's goalkeeper they see as the future is Arthur Okonkwo, the 6'6" goalkeeper. I don't think you would have heard of him from the academy.
I've seen him in the training videos, but I know who you're talking about.
6'6". He used to be a midfielder. Now, that's what I like, especially with this midfielder. Arthur Okonkwo used to be a midfielder before turning into a goalkeeper, so he's very comfortable with the ball at his feet.
You're talking about this guy, yeah?
Yeah.
He's seen as the future goalkeeper. Now he's had interest from Ajax, Dortmund, but he's chosen to stay at Arsenal. Mikel Arteta, they're trying to convince him to stay. That's why there's issues with the contract, which I think will get done. This goalkeeper is the future. So any goalkeeper that comes in now is only going to be a stopgap. In fact, I think Okonkwo is going to have a more prominent figure in next season. You already saw him. You already saw him towards the end of last season. how he started training with the first team. He's going to be the future goalkeeper.
Yeah, no, as I was saying privately to you, Daniel, which I will say out loud, I had the opportunity to speak on the phone to Jerry Payton, who was our old goalkeeping coach.
Mm.
And it was interesting to hear what he had to say. Like, Laborde asked him when Leno came in, before Leno came in, asking, who would you suggest we go for goalkeeper-wise? And he said, they didn't listen to him. And apparently he said, just keep Martinez. And his last wish, well, not his last wish, his last bit of the job was to find the next number one after Martinez or Leno. And he brought in Carl Hein and Arthur Nkonkwo. I can't pronounce his surname, but Arthur, I'll just say. And he was telling me, like, at the age of 14, he already looked like, because he apparently also scouted Neuer when he was 17 or 18 at Schalke. And he was saying he was at 14, which
Crazy.
I think that screams volumes for me if a goalkeeping coach of his expertise says that. Not saying that in a biased way, but so I think it's all positive for him.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not really worried about the Onana. What about you? What's your opinion on the goalkeeper situation, Cam?
I think after Leno, I'd get rid of him. I think the Everton game when he let through his legs, the Wolves game, the handball.
Poor distribution.
Yeah, I think what also we're saying is he kind of invites the pressure because he's so slow with the ball at his feet to pass out from the back. I think what we were discussing, Dan, is that I think goalkeeper, we can create more attacks just from a keeper being able to play at the back quicker, like an Onana. Then we need actually like a shot stopper for like Leno, because we don't concede a lot of shots these days. It's more we give the ball away in our own half and then we concede. It's not we have
That's
like
what I was saying to you,
get
mate.
36 shots a game. We don't concede that many shots.
That's what I was saying to you, Cam. When we were talking about our opinions on Arteta in or Arteta out, I spoke to one of the defenses for Arteta. Is that look at the players he has.
I have to say, Dan.
I love Saka, man. One of the defenses for me for Arteta is we have Leno in goal at the end of the day, who is terrible with the ball at his feet. Leno is a shot stopper.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's one of the one of the best shot stoppers in the world. But what lets Leno down is what is needed for a modern day goalkeeper. You can't just be a good shot stopper. You need to have a good distribution. That's what I'm saying. Okonkwo will be the future because he's a midfielder who can have the ball at his feet. Players like Okonkwo, players like Onana, who's ambidextrous. You can control the ball with their feet from under pressure, so they won't get,
Because with Leno, we kind of all the teams they stand on the edge of the box because they know we can't kick it far to ping it. So he invites pressure. We bring Onana in. The teams don't know whether to sit or press or what. Like with Henderson at Man City, you press high, he just ping it over the top, and if you let him, he'll just ping it out to the left back or right back so easily.
Yeah.
So that's why I hope Leno goes. He needs to go, but especially with this Leno ban, I don't think nothing's gonna happen. To be honest, we have Okonkwo as a backup. I like Okonkwo, so I see him very much as the future goalkeeper. Let's speak about another player, Guendouzi. Cam.
I'm not happy about it.
You and Jasper, the biggest Guendouzi. Oh, hi Simon. You and Jasper, the biggest Guendouzi defenders ever.
Ooh.
Why is
That's Simon.
why are you defending Guendouzi? I don't know. It depends if he comes in or not. I haven't seen him yet. So why do you defend Guendouzi? What do you make of his transfer to Marseille?
This could be the biggest risk Arteta's done, because if he pulls up trees, it could be a massive risk letting him go. Because I've seen him live, and he's got all the quality to make it to the top. I know he's got a bad attitude, but Is it something so serious you kick a guy out of the team for because he doesn't agree with you, or?
No. But the thing is, yeah, this is why I defend Arteta on this against you and Jasper. It's not whether he does it, he has a bad attitude. It's when you have respect. You should have respect for your staff who's trying to help you at the end of the day. And when you're disrespecting the staff in front of the whole team, it undermines the leadership of the manager in front of the whole team. He did it in Dubai in the hotel. There's a story about, I think it was reported about Honesty. He had a fat argument with Socrates.
And Edu, wasn't it Edu that had to tell him off publicly or something?
Yeah, Edu had to tell him off, reprimand him, and then another time they were at a hotel. You know when they went on that warm weather training camp in Dubai. He had a massive falling out with Arteta at the hotel, and he was disrespecting him in front of the whole team, just like that.
And so I think
When you're disrespecting the manager in front of the whole team, the manager has a lack of respect for you as a player. So that's playing in his mind. Oh, Simon's here. Not only that, yeah, we had the incident with Brighton where all they told him he had to do was just say sorry. And he said, nah, I'm not saying sorry. What do you want them to do? Do you know how many chances they've given him? They've given three. Is the saying, you know, the same 3 strikes and you're out. They've given him that opportunity. He hasn't taken it. So they're like, okay, we don't want you in the squad. You're too much of a negative impact.
So did you think
when there was it?
Yeah.
Did you think he said that to Pepe when he headbutted that guy at Leeds? Do you think Pepe apologized to him?
Pepe apologized straight away. He even went to social media and even apologized to Arsenal fans for doing that.
But what's he apologizing for that for?
Well, because he didn't want. Well, I think it affected our game completely, personally. I'm not sure. Like, he apologized to him.
Mate, when you do something as stupid as that, as headbutting someone, no matter how much someone's provoking you, they're provoking you on purpose to get inside your head. And Pepe allowed him inside his head. And now he got sent off. It ruined the whole game. Once you're down to 10 men, it's incredibly hard for you to win a game. Because it makes you a man weaker. So it affected the whole team.
I think we played better when we had 10 men against Leeds, to be honest. That game. Because remember, Saka should have scored when he went around the keeper. But I agree with you. I know it was silly for him to do. But then Xhaka did what, he put his hand around the guy at Burnley. Didn't say nothing. And then back in the team after a suspension.
Well, I might be wrong, but I swear Xhaka and Pepe both apologised publicly as well.
I just think Guendouzi's got the quality. He's still got the quality to get to the top.
I wouldn't want to risk. I don't think it would be a huge risk. So
if he goes back to that level of golden boy, let's say if his value goes through the roof, he's back to a £50 million player.
Yeah.
See, you're talking about if, buts, and maybes, okay? It's a massive risk. That's the problem. Yeah. But I think at the end of the day, none of us want. I don't think Arteta wanted to sell him. He had no choice, okay? And it's no secret, Guendouzi's attitude stinks. He acts like he thinks he's one of. There's no secret. Like he thinks. There's no secret. I think it came out in a report that he started acting like Oba and Laka. He'd be joining them, trying to act hard.
Yeah,
and even disrespected. Even some teammates complained about his attitude.
And even
I put it down to Lacazette. I think he tried to impress Lacazette and Aubameyang too much. He wanted to be in the boys' club, and Arteta tried to ground him and keep him down level and said to him, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this. But I think with Lacazette, I think he's the bad egg as well. That's where I think he needs to go. Because I think with Lacazette, it's either you laugh at my jokes or you're the brunt of my jokes.
Wow.
And I'll make you not an outcast, but I'll basically not socialise with you as much as I do with Aubameyang, as much as I do with Saka. Because if you can see with Saka, he used to be with like this with Lacazette. They were in photos all the time, having a laugh, everything. Then all of a sudden, it's now Aubameyang and Saka, and you never see Lacazette in that same group. and it's like Aubameyang's taking him under his wing. But
No,
with Guendouzi, it is going to bite Arsenal on the arse because that lad, he's going to be at least 100 million quid. I'll say it now,
Oh,
no
mate.
if buts or maybes. Guendouzi
Mate,
will be
if
a
buts or
contender
maybes.
for
If
Ballon
buts or
d'Or
maybes.
when he's 27, maybe
Mate,
26.
Simon, that is, you never guess a player's career. You can never guess a player's career for how it turns out. Look at Revel Morrison. His attitude, absolutely, he was seen as a world-class player. His attitude let him down. At the end of the day, I have a saying that to be a good player, you need to be humble. Yeah, have an ego, but have somewhat humility, and you make it so much further.
Right.
Not
But-
Ballon d'Or contender. Simon,
let me ask you a question, though.
Ballon d'Or
I'm just saying
contender.
you can hold me to it.
I've got a question. What guy do you know that comes out of France League 2 and walks into the Premier League first season
All right,
and
I'll give you
he
one.
doesn't stink?
I'll give one. N'Golo
It was
Kante.
Emery's fault for playing him too much.
N'Golo Kante. No, it was Emery's fault because he made him bigger than he is.
Yeah, he
his
played him
ego.
too much, and then he thought, I've come from second division of France to Arsenal, the third biggest club in England, up there as top 10 clubs in the world, and then he's thinking, I've done it, I've made it. You can't do that with a young kid, and that's the only biggest regret I've got with Emery. Gripe that I've got with Emery is that he had no midfield to work from, and he trusted Guendouzi more than he trusted Xhaka and Torreira. Guendouzi, I remember Ian Wright wrapping 3 Ferraris round a tree, and he still came on and delivered every single week. But that's back in them days. You could do that. Tony Adams used to go out on the piss on a weekend, still play football and go back out on the piss with Paul Merson. Still delivered on the weekend, but that's back in them days. Nowadays, you can't do it. So with Guendouzi, he needs a coach, in my opinion, like Jurgen Klopp. Someone that puts his arm round, makes him feel all right, and basically mother cuddles him. Basically, Muddy cuddles him and all that rubbish. Because
Like a father figure.
since he's got married, I think he's got married, but he's had a kid, he's actually more grounded a little bit. I've been speaking to someone in France, Germany, who's been watching him in Berlin, and he says you can see he's got an attitude, but you can see he's not as bad as he was when he was back. He's grounded a little bit, and that's because now he's got responsibilities. He's acting as a kid anymore. He's out of Arsenal now, and good luck to him in Marseille. I'll never wish Granit Xhaka good luck. Thank God, good riddance.
Good luck, Xhaka.
But like I said,
Got 35 million players.
Granit Xhaka, good luck, Xhaka. Granit
35
Xhaka.
million.
Can't stand him.
We'll get into Granit Xhaka.
You're
Granit
supposed to
Xhaka.
be an Arsenal player.
I've no doubt.
You're in the interview, I want the can we do it in Italian?
No,
I'm
I
not
don't
there.
like that.
No, I'm not there. Don't have that.
Talk about it.
Oh, mate, he's just joking around, Simon. Leave
Nah,
Xhaka alone. Your agenda against Xhaka is absolutely funny at times, yeah. I
ain't got
can't
an
stop
agenda
laughing.
against
You
him.
hate that man, bro. Simon, yes, you do, Simon. Shush. I actually don't want to hear it. The way you attack him, you literally did a dancing video celebrating him leaving. I don't see you do that for any other player. Guendouzi, you gave him a massive thread about how he's good. You literally just told me he's going to be the next Ballon d'Or winner in 2020.
Wait till Bellerin goes. You'll see my video.
And you're here telling Xhaka good riddance. Bye.
Guendouzi's going to be a baller.
I wouldn't do what Simon did, though.
No, because Guendouzi is not disrespected Arsenal. It's just not. It's just a young kid that's immature and not followed rules. He's never disrespected. He's never said anything bad about Arsenal. He's never insulted the fan base. He's never ripped a shirt off. He's never told the fans to F off.
He has
never
insulted
done that.
Arsenal. Arsenal staff have spoken many times how he's quite rude. Maybe not intentionally, but that's how Guendouzi is. Xhaka for me, as I said, Xhaka for me, it represents everything that Arsenal have been since they've been out of the Champions League. Their weaknesses. He's Arsenal's performances down to T, yeah. So, which is why I didn't want. You were gassed about us getting Locatelli. I explained many times why I don't want Locatelli. because Locatelli is exactly. It's like getting the best defensive line playmaker, but he still has the same weaknesses. So at the end of the day, you're getting the best version. It's like getting the best version of Xhaka, but he still has the same weaknesses. You're not improving. We need to move on from that type of player. So for me,
Basuma.
Xhaka, when he goes to Roma, he will kill it. He will absolutely kill it, Xhaka, in Roma.
Yeah, he will.
It's slow. The
He'll kill them.
build-up suits his style. He will probably make it to the team of the season. I will not be surprised. Xhaka suits Italy down to a T. When we're
Yeah,
talking about players like, so getting players like Locatelli, who basically is that more polished, more refined version of Xhaka, but still has that same weaknesses, which is speed. He can't sprint from more than 5 yards. If he's pressed, he will lose the ball. Similar to like who? Xhaka, because all deep line playmakers have that same weakness. It's not necessarily their fault, but it's the way they play. They have that weakness in them at the end of the day, which does not suit the Premier League. To play in the Premier League, one of the key attributes you must have, along with your physicality, is speed.
Pace, power,
can't be just
technique, skill.
Yeah, you need pace. That's what I'm saying. Look, Simon, Locatelli will not unleash Partey. He will not at all. If anything, it will hinder Partey. So when we're looking at deep line playmakers, who would you rather prefer, deep line playmaker or ball winning midfielder? You want the ball winning midfielder? You go for, well, for me, I wanted Samare, but as you've seen, he's gone to Leicester. So you go for the next best thing, which is Basuma. He's strong, athletic, he's dynamic, he's got speed, his interception rate is mad. And if you want to back up to Basuma, Camara. He's the young, raw version of Basuma in his early stages. So when he gets better, he'll become even better than Basuma. He's a sitter.
Yeah,
Camara.
it's hard to
So
get into.
why Arsenal? That's why you have Basuma, Camara as the two defensive sitters, which will allow Partey. Now that will unleash Partey, Simon. And then you have Lokonga. And you have Lokonga and Partey, who are the conductor aides, the box-to-box midfielders, who will be free to roam around that midfield. So that's, for me, that's why it makes sense. And that team has balance, that team is dynamic, and it has squad depth, which are young and exciting. So that's, for me, why I know Arsenal want that as their ideal midfielder. Whether we sell the enough players to get Basuma is another thing, which I hope we do. But for one, I'm so excited about Lokonga. And that's why I'm more happy with us signing Camara as well, because I know we're getting the polished version of basically Basuma, the raw version.
Yeah, we need a bit of dream. And then if you can get Maddison at number 10, I'd put us down as one of the best midfields in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think we need an 8, like a Aouar or someone, just to get the ball, take the ball from Partey. We haven't got that in the team.
But Partey's an 8 in his. Partey's an 8 in himself.
Yeah, it's a box-to-box Partey. He's not a DM.
No.
He hates DM. He hates it. He only did it this season because obviously with the transfer window and all that stuff, what happened? Because it should have been Aouar, but it just didn't happen. So if we got Aouar and Partey on deadline day, we wouldn't have finished 8th. We probably would have had a good shout for 4th because we were only 6 points away. And you look at the players that Arsenal have got, we had the 3rd best defence in the league. I'm still not happy with
shafted by VAR.
That's what I mean. I'm still not happy with Saliba.
Did you know? Wait, just before you finish. Just before you finish, did you know without the VR mistakes, you'd be in the top 4 by now?
Yeah, but I don't.
Without the VR mistakes,
excuse.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah, carry on.
Arguments, basically, it's an easy argument. Like, oh well, we would have finished 4th if it weren't for VAR. But when you look at the squad that Arteta's got, it's not balanced, but it still had the 3rd best defence. Look at Man United's defence, and Solskjaer's their manager, and they were nowhere near us defensively. We were 3rd, and I think they were 6th or 7th. It was crazy. For goals scored, I think they were 3rd. We were like,
and that's why
United quality. That's the difference.
That's what I'm saying. There's no balance in that team. At the end of the day, we could have. That's why I'm defending Arteta even more. Our squad wasn't good enough. You look at our squad compared to Man United. If we tried to play that attacking style, we would have got torn to pieces.
Yeah.
So he had to pick. He had to sacrifice. What do? Go for the attack and risk getting torn to pieces, like Emery did. Remember when we tried to attack? Yeah, every time we tried to attack, we got hit wave after wave after wave of dealing with 30 shots coming back. So Arteta had to make a choice: sacrifice that part of your game, or play this defensive style which sacrifices your attack. And he chose to play the defensive style because at the end of the day, if you don't have a defensive structure, the defensive structure is your spine. If you don't have that defensive structure, that spine is wobbly, your whole attack breaks down. And at the end of the day, he was seeing who can play that defensive structure, who can play that, and he won us the FA Cup. The season after that, he tried to say, okay, let's try and express ourselves. Let's see how we can perform against under pressure, still be defensively solid, but still, let's see if we attack. It didn't work because we didn't have the players that were balanced enough to know when to be defensively responsible, but also know when to pick their moments in attack. And we saw that last season. So that's why I still defend Arteta. I'm still Arteta in. Me personally. I know I'm upset about the Saliba thing, but that isn't down to Arteta. It was never down to Arteta.
No, it's his agent.
It was his agent.
But Saliba did turn down Newcastle, Southampton, and Norwich as season long.
That's what Arsenal wanted to go.
He wanted to go.
That's what Arsenal wanted him to go. They wanted him to go in the Premier League so he can learn his trade. To be honest, originally, Cam, I'm not sure if you noticed this. Saliba didn't want to leave Arsenal at all. He made it very clear. Jasper spoke about it ages ago as well, that he wants to fight for this place. But the agent of Saliba wanted him out. He didn't like Edu. He's not really a fan of Edu. He's not really a fan of Arteta, saying for lack of communication. But at the end of the day, that's not Arteta's job, to be honest. Arteta, the loan manager, it's the loan manager's job to have a communication with the player. It's Ben Napper's job.
There's no option to buy as well. There's no obligation. Yeah. But when I told you though that, Daniel, and you were saying to me, what? You can see where my guy got it from now, because L'Équipe was going to run with it until they backtracked massively and just changed the whole entire bleeding newspaper, I think, in
That's
space
why I
of
said,
1
mate.
hour.
That's what I meant, mate. Sorry, I know in the chat, Simon, I said, sorry, Simon. Whoever told you that is chatting out their arse. He's not going anywhere. Because Arteta was the one. I'm sorry. It's because I know what's going on in Saliba's camp. Arteta rates Saliba highly. It's more the agent who wants him out of there.
And I'm not, and I would like to stress this, and I know you guys, well, the fans of us will probably slaughter me for this. Well, what club do you see 20-year-old centre-backs apart from injuries? You don't see a 20-year-old starting as a centre-back, do you? In the big four, in the top four clubs, you don't see that. Apart from one, which is Fofana, you don't see that often. No, you don't see like City bringing out.
I'm so jealous of Leicester's squad. Can I just say though?
Yeah, Leicester.
Great team.
But do you though, Daniel? You don't see youngsters like 20-year-olds starting as a centre back. It takes a while for the brain to mature into that position. I would say maybe 23, 24, 25 is when we'll. Not saying we'll see Saliba that long. It'll take that long until Saliba gets in. But you don't.
The thing is about Saliba. Saliba's a ball-playing centre-back, and ball-playing centre-backs tend to develop into their prime later than stoppers and general defenders. Saliba's a rare case of the opposite. He's world-class at his age, but Arsenal want to manage him carefully. The Premier League could really damage his confidence, especially with ball-playing centre-backs, especially with the type of player Saliba is. He's a ball-playing centre-back. But to play that ball-playing centre-back role, you need to have confidence in your ability. And because he's so young, one mistake in the Premier League can shake off the whole game. That's why I'm not totally against it. If you look at it critically, like honestly, with your heart, and you're not thinking with your head, if you're not thinking with your heart and you're just thinking it with your head, you would think it makes sense for him to go out of loan. he has not ruined his confidence, in my opinion, because it's not Arteta's fault. At the end of the day, Saliba came into Arteta when he was not fully fit, and Arteta saw one look at him and said, "You're not fit. What do you think he's gonna do?" He's trying to protect the player.
Exactly.
He doesn't want all this fan base. He doesn't want all these fans attacking Saliba. He's already had a tough time. It's not. I know Will's saying it's half awful. It's not half awful, mate. Come on, you need to use your head in this. He's trying to protect the player.
Yeah,
Make sure it's the most comfortable environment.
The person that I was speaking to were telling me about Saliba, because I said in the chat I was going to do some groundwork, and I have. And I've spoken to two people, one that's based in Germany, and I'm not naming names, and the other one that were based in France. And basically, what they were both telling me is that Saliba has decided he wants to go to France. He wants a full season, and he wants a full season of a team that's in Europe. Not Champions League, but just Europa or Conference. That's what he wants. He wants to have a full season, basically, and then come back to Arsenal. He doesn't want to come yet to the Premier League. He's not scared of the Premier League, what this person said, but I'm trying to remember now. He said he's intimidated by the Premier League, especially when he's in training with the players with Arsenal and like basically decisions and that sort of stuff. And his agent wants him out of Arsenal. His agent's the big problem, but he wants him out of Arsenal altogether because, one, the agent doesn't like Arteta and he doesn't like how his client's been treated by Arsenal. But Arsenal have actually tried looking after William Saliba in their best interest. That's why they got him to go to Nice. And he went to Nice and picked up like 4 Man of the Match awards, actually pocketing Kylian Mbappe in one game. That's a confident Saliba. If we put Saliba next to Gabriel in the Premier League now, with Tierney and let's say Ben White as right back, it's all right, but it's not good enough for a young kid. That's what I'm saying. If you put Saliba next to Holding and Bellerin, oh my God, you might as well just end his career. Because
if David Luiz was there, then what would happen if we had David Luiz on another 1-year deal?
That's it, exactly. That's it, 100%, exactly. And look, when you play Gabriel and you've played Holding together, and David Luiz has actually been mentoring Gabriel Magalhaes. Yeah. And at the end of the season, you could see Gabriel getting back to his best. And then basically that's David Luiz's imprint on him. But when you stick him next to Rob Holding and Hector Bellerin on that right-hand side with Gabriel, you can see the difference. Even Kieran Tierney at times.
Do you know what that is? Do you know what that is?
Unbalanced. They're not good enough.
The thing is about Gabriel, and the reason why you notice the difference is with Luiz. Luiz commands leadership. He's a leader. Now, especially for Gabriel, who's new to the Premier League. And that's another reason why fans couldn't. Why are you expecting Gabriel and Saliba matchup for the next season? They're not experienced in the Premier League. They haven't been put in enough situations where they're testing themselves. So why do you expect two untested centre-backs playing Premier League football against the fast, quick centre-backs in the Premier League? They will because they're not used to that level of football, they'll get exposed. And you guys will be like, oh, why are we playing them together then? Oh my gosh, Arteta, why did you buy him? Oh my gosh, you can clearly see he wasn't ready. So it's a lose-lose situation at the end of the day. You cannot play Gabriel and Saliba, two unexperienced centre-backs in the Premier League. It won't work because they're not used to that level of football yet.
Exactly.
So what he's done, especially now that Luiz is gone, what he's done, he said, okay, listen, Saliba, you won't be able to play guaranteed football because I feel you're not ready yet. That's why they wanted him to go to ideally a Premier League club. So he's used to that level of Premier League football. So when he comes to Arsenal, they're like, yeah, okay, you're ready now. What's annoying, though, is that he's picked a French club. He will still play for Arsenal eventually, I have no doubt. But he'll be he's playing for France. But that was the plan. They wanted him to play for a Premier League club, so he's used to that level of football. It's not fair if you're playing Gabriel and Saliba, two unexperienced centre-backs in the Premier League. Yeah. I'm sorry, they'll get ripped to shreds. That's the honest truth.
But you've also, Daniel, got the argument of, as I was saying, you do not, and I'm saying this, name one club apart from Leicester with Fofana you see a 19 to 20-year-old centre back.
Even with Fofana, let's talk about Fofana, yeah? He always has a commanding centre-back who's been in the Premier League for
Johnny
5
Evans
years.
or Wes Morgan.
Johnny Engine or Wes Morgan or Sionchi. They've been in the Premier League for a few years. They're guiding him. They're mentoring him, telling him what to do. How can you have... That's what I'm saying. I don't get fans when you're asking for Gabriel and Saliba together in the same team. It just won't work. They're not accustomed to the Premier League yet. It takes a few years to get used to the Premier League. Because in the Premier League, you're put in tough situations.
I'm just reading Will saying, why not have a pre-season and play him in that?
Pre-season and play Saliba in that?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
there's no point.
There's no point. He's not going to play in the Premier League. It literally doesn't benefit him anyway. The standard of level is different.
And I
the
just
high intensity of the Premier League, playing centre-back. Especially with the way Arteta likes playing with the centre-backs.
I would also like to point out...
Don't get me wrong, Saliba, Arteta rates Saliba highly.
Yeah, I would also like to add, though, Will, we did not sign Holding on a 5-year extension, I don't think. I think it was a 3-year extension, wasn't it, Simon? Because I know you're not a huge fan of Holding. But it was 3 years, wasn't it? Not 5.
Something like that, but it don't mean that he's staying, because I've also been told that Chambers could stay and Holding might be going.
I'd rather Chambers.
Chambers might stay as the backup right back.
5-year contract. 5-year contract was only to preserve value. Look at what's happening now with Eddie Nketiah and Rhys Nelson, players that Arsenal wants to offer a new contract.
But with Saliba, he is what I've been told, he is going to sign a new contract, not an extension, a brand new contract before he goes to Marseille. So he is part of the future plans. He is part of that.
Yeah, I would like to also add, did anyone see the Nketiah Instagram story thing?
Yeah.
What on earth was that about? I'm thinking, is that because he was... I'm not saying it is a 5-year deal, as he's doing that in the picture.
No, it's Watford.
I thought so.
I've been told he's going to Watford. It's 15 or 20
million. Simon, mate. Listen, yeah. Tony's the other club's Premier League.
I've heard Watford.
Then discredit Tony, yeah? I'm joking.
Simon knows some stuff, to be honest.
Oh, sorry. He was just explaining the 5, and it's basically it's him waving like goodbye.
Yeah, because he also put. Did you see it, Simon? The sound timers as well. I know that's a very comical thing now. Well, I have heard Watford are interested in Nketiah, but I haven't heard any bids or close to happening or anything. I've only heard that Maitland-Niles was in talks with Watford were in talks with Arsenal over him, but not Maitland-Niles.
Do you guys see a lot of players going to Palace now? Vieira's in charge.
Rhys Nelson.
Yeah.
I'd hope Rhys Nelson.
I think Ainsley will probably go there as well.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Oh.
As a midfielder.
Dan's saying no. Where's Ainsley going, mate? Where's Ainsley going, Dan?
2 clubs.
Southampton and Watford. That's all I'm going to say. But I'm not sure if one of them's correct. Dan is hiding it.
Do you think that's a good move, Vieira?
Vieira's a rate appointment.
Yeah. Let's get into that. Vieira to Crystal Palace. What for me? I'm excited to see the legend back in the Prem.
Same.
Mate, Vieira will get them relegated. No chance.
Wait, who's saying that?
I don't think so. Will said.
Well, no.
I do. If he does what De Boer did, he's got to play the old Palace 4-4-2 because he tries and play like a De Boer tactics. It won't work.
You don't know. We don't know. Well, we do know.
The thing is, it depends what style he plays.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't watch Vieira's team, so I don't know what style he plays. We can't just say Vieira's not a terrible manager. Vieira guided Nice to the Europa League for the first time in a few years. He's not terrible. Just because he had one bad stint. In fact, Vieira, when he came into management, he actually did really well. He started in America with New York City. Did really well there. So then he moved to Nice. In his first full season, he guided Nice to the Europa League for the first time in quite a few years. So
yeah.
The second season didn't go so well, but he actually started brilliant with Nice. The season where it went terribly for him, it's just injuries really hit that Nice team hard. So he was playing players out of position. He's not a terrible manager. It was just unfortunate
And I would also like
circumstances.
to add about Vieira, like obviously, I think they're obviously giving him time because obviously he will want to build his team around Eze, and obviously now Eze's injured, who is I would say a crucial player too.
Yeah.
Zaha, they will obviously want to give him time to recover, and I think he will be a good manager for them. I won't say better than Roy Hodgson or anything. I think he will just steady the ship well. But I don't see.
I do think Patrick Vieira will actually do better than Roy Hodgson. That's not a bad thing on Roy Hodgson, but Roy Hodgson likes to play it safe. Vieira's actually got, we all know this with him and Keane, he's got some balls, Vieira. He will do things that then players are like, not uncomfortable, but they're like, I'm not used to this. I weren't used to this. He will do that. He did that at Nice, and he got the best out of two midfielders, and he got the best out of the goalkeeper, because the goalkeeper never used to play out from the back. It was always big boots, or it was he threw it basically to the halfway line. Vieira actually got the goalkeeper playing out from the back, and it actually suffocated Nice's opponents. And it was good, very, very, very good. So Vieira, for me, if he gets the right players for his system, I could easily see them being up there close to Leeds United. Vieira is very underrated, very underrated. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm trying to find out what his desired formation is. Trying to find out.
That's what I want to find out. But
I think I've seen before.
4-1-4-1, 4-4-1-1.
I think he'll do really well. Me personally, especially if he gets the plan I'm hearing, the plan of signing Rhys Nelson, and having Rhys Nelson, Eze, and Zaha on the same team. That is like having playing FIFA Street.
Are we hearing permanent deal for Rhys or loan?
The thing is, from what I'm hearing is Crystal Palace want a permanent deal. Arsenal want no. The thing is, Crystal Palace want either a permanent deal or loan deal. Depends on Arsenal, and then depends if they can agree a fee. So if Arsenal are quoting like 15 million for him, which for me, Rhys Nelson. The thing is about Rhys Nelson, he's a player that when he has that click, he has the same potential as Sancho. Yeah, I did turn on my PS on. I accidentally turned on my PS4 on. Yeah, go on.
I'm also looking at his desired formation was a 4-3-3 at Nice. I'm just looking. And if they say, "Oh, he hasn't got experience," I'm just looking at the players that he's managed. He's managed Dante from, remember him at Bayern Munich, Saint-Maximin, Balotelli. When he was at Nice, I think he's had a few good players under his belt before. Even that Lise Malou, who I've heard things about, but
and if you look at Balotelli, so basically under Vieira, how well behaved was he as well, and well respected by obviously Vieira. Everywhere he's gone, he's been a nightmare. He's had an attitude problem. He's done fireworks in his bathroom and everything. As soon as Vieira managed him, he behaved like a pro. He wore a suit on match days. He was always there at training. He was always there early on training. This is Vieira. This is what Vieira's learned at his time with Arsenal as well, as a player as well, and obviously coach. Vieira,
he's learned the importance of discipline.
He demands respect. If you get out of your chair, you leave it, you push that chair under, and you say goodbye to everyone, and you walk off. He demands respect. He demands
that as well.
Being proper, basically. Thierry's the same. Thierry's like, if you don't do what he wants you to do, you're not going to like it. America, when he was there, Henry, he was the only one that used to put his chair under, used to shake everyone's hand when leaving a press conference. He always had time for everyone, and that's Thierry Henry to a T. He's a family man, so he's got that basic responsibilities, but he's just got that within him. And that's also down to Arsene Wenger managing him as well at Arsenal. So, for me, Vieira's going to smash it. I know he is. And I'm going for an away ticket to Crystal Palace.
Yeah,
I'll actually go to a Crystal Palace game. I told
I
you
have
if
a
you sign
little
Renato
time
Sanchez, I'm really excited to see Vieira, see him play. So.
And also, I'm not saying, I know this is nothing to do with football itself, but I think he will be good for young fans as well. Like, I've already seen, like, on social media when he was announced that he also went onto social media himself and even liking posts saying congratulations on getting moves, and even Arsenal fans giving him respect, saying congrats and everything. And he was liking them on social media, like he is a person of, of the modern era. Like he wants to connect with the young fans. Like I think it'd be a good signing. Managerial signing, I guess. I think
Speaking about Crystal Palace.
Go on.
Speaking about Crystal Palace. Actually, I forgot what I was going to say. Carry on, Tony. Don't mind, don't worry.
I think the more shocking managerial announcement, considering all the hate it got, was
Rafa Benitez.
Yeah.
For me, I don't know why. Everton are complaining.
Liverpool fans are not bothered at all. The media are just trying to build it up. They're really not.
Actually, Simon. Speaking to a Liverpool fan who I'm currently in the process of thinking about getting on them, trying to see if he's available. They are actually they're worried in the sense of they know what Rafa is like. So Rafa, when he goes to a new job, he's the type of guy that brings them all together. You saw that with Newcastle, with how he brought a club that was divided. We all know the situation of Newcastle at the moment. A club that was divided, and managed to bring them together and convince them. He said, guys, look at the potential we can bring. Come together, join us, come be a part of this project. And it worked. A lot of Newcastle fans got on board again. They fell in love with their club again because they knew they had a manager who was going to elevate them in Rafa Benitez. So that's the type of manager Rafa Benitez is. He's a very convincing talker. So they knew not only that he's a convincing talker, he gets the best out of his players. So look at the Liverpool team when they finished second. The way he got the best out of Mascherano, Fernando Torres, all those type of players for Everton. For the same thing for Everton. And it's just a matter of if he gets the players he wants. Look how far he took that Liverpool team, who by no means should have won that Champions League in 2005, by the way. It was an absolute masterclass by Rafa Benitez. You saw how ridiculously good that AC Milan team was in that final. We all know that story about Istanbul. You saw how ridiculously good. But Rafa Benitez is the manager in one-off game situations. He can beat anybody because he's that tactically inept. So Liverpool fans are worried in the sense that he has that ability. It's just whether he gets the players he wants.
Yeah.
So I think an appointment Everton shouldn't be complaining about. I was watching the Ornstein video about how Rafa Benitez, he's the type of guy that is constantly obsessed with football. He talks about it all the time. So I think he's going to be a great manager for Everton, and Everton will grow to like him. Where did Tony go? Anyway, what's your opinion on the Rafa Benitez appointment for Everton?
Go on, sir. You can go.
No, I'll say. I think with Rafa, I think it's a good appointment for Everton. I really do, because obviously Ancelotti, you can see with the players that he brought in. I mean, it's a shame that Rodriguez is close to leaving, so that's obviously some of their players are already looking at wanting to go because Ancelotti's gone. But when you look at Everton's owners, and then you look at Usmanov as well, and then you've got Rafa Benitez, who took a bang average Newcastle team. I mean, my dad's a Newcastle fan, so I know some of this. And then basically took a bang average Newcastle team, and they were hard to beat. They were a nightmare to play against. Even teams, your Man Uniteds, your Chelseas, even Manchester City. Pep Guardiola used to hate going up against Newcastle United, especially at St James's Park.
Yeah, because the reason is for that is because they play 5-3-2.
Yeah, it makes it. That's the thing. I've always
With
said
Rafa, he's a
if
competitor.
Ozil was ever managed by Rafa Benitez, he would be the best player in the world because he can get the best out of a number 10. Look what he did with Richie as well.
Yeah, and strikers he's good with. He's obviously made Torres. He made Torres look good. Not saying look good. Higuain. No, that was more sorry, to be fair.
But he's a good manager. The only manager I think that's going to struggle next season massively, and they're all in for a shock, is Tottenham with Nuno. He's literally a Jose 2.0.
Yeah, Jose with a beard.
That's it, pretty much. That is it. Their football's not going to be entertaining. They think Harry Kane's still staying. He's not.
Well, I can tell you. Well, I can tell you this: Nuno wasn't on the original shortlist.
No, they've gone through 10 managers and they've all had to basically bolt because financially they cannot do it. And then I've got Tottenham fans saying to me, well, we've got the NFL for our new stadium. And it's like, yeah, that's brilliant, but it only gets you about 1.52 million. Don't start thinking you're getting 100 million from the NFL. It don't work like that. And Tottenham are in financial trouble. They're in a mess.
I've even heard that. I know Nuno was not their number one choice, or number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6 to 10. He wasn't even on their original shortlist because he saw him as a too defensive coach.
Mm.
And I know they are in that much dire financial strain that, obviously it doesn't affect transfer policies, but they only got Nuno in with half of his backroom staff that he had at Wolves. He was told to half it, not bring everyone in, half it.
Not only that, they weren't impressed with his Nuno. They weren't impressed with Nuno's interview. In fact, a funny story about the Tottenham search of Nuno. They appointed him, and then immediately after they had an interview with him, and then immediately after the interview, they decided, okay, we need a manager who's basically the opposite of Nuno. The opposite of Nuno.
A passionate manager that plays attacking football and believes in the youth. That's all 3 things I wanted. 2 of them,
and 2 of them, and Nuno was seen as the last choice of the bad bunch. Because to be honest, they've been rejected.
I'd love to laugh at Tottenham. They went from targeting Skriniar and De Vrij under Conte, if they got him, to now going looking for Connor Cody. I've heard.
Have they got money to spend this summer if Kane don't go?
Financially, I would say it's more likely they're going to be bankrupt than anything.
If Kane doesn't leave and they keep him, which will be a bad thing, it's like Barcelona keeping Messi. But Barcelona can't afford to lose Messi because the followers, the financial side of it, not such social media, but your image rights and all that. Barcelona would lose a lot of money, so they're having to cut their nose off to spite the face. That's how they have to keep Messi, and that's what they're going to do. He is going to sign an extension. It's already been agreed. But Barcelona, they've got to do it because if they lose him, it's going to get even worse for them. Kane is going to Manchester City. This will get done because Kane will force it, especially when you see what he's doing in the Euros now, because he's actually turned up. That shot that he had to try and make it a hat-trick, I wish that went in. I have never cheered Harry Kane when he wears an England shirt. I've never done it. And I respect the judges for this as well, because we're diehard Arsenal fans. Yes, we do want England to do well, but I won't celebrate a Harry Kane goal. Even I jumped out of my seat and went, oh my God, I wish that went in. That's the only time I've ever done it. But if they do keep Kane, Son's going to sign a new deal, which that's obvious. They need him to do that so they can sell him on for more money. But basically with Tottenham, I was told, is the Arsenal thing, they've got about 30 or 40 million to spend. That's it. If they sell Kane, say they're selling for 150 million and Man City bite the bullet and pay 150 up front, because they can do it, but they won't be pressured into doing it. So if they do it, 120 of that will go towards the stadium because the stadium comes before any player. And fans are just going to have to suck it up, and they're going to have to go through basically what Arsenal went through. Difference is, though, we didn't have to sell our best players. We didn't have to sell our best players. David Dean's son, basically, was the one that sold all our best players. And that's because his dad, David Dean, got basically screwed over by Arsenal. So that's a long story going into that, but that's how that goes.
I would like
them. They have to get so much financial stuff for paying
the stadium back.
That was it. Merchandise. Basically, with merchandise coming out left, right, and centre, they've got to get loads of deals done for representing and stuff like that. They need to do a lot. You're going to see Tottenham advertising Anthony Joshua fights, Tyson Fury fights. You're going to see them do live concerts. They need to get as much money as possible. They've taken 175 million loan out and only just paid it back. They're in the process of taking out a £200 million loan, and that's just to get through the next 2 years, to keep paying the stadium off. And they don't get Champions League football. They're in the Europa League conference, which is probably going to get them 20 mil at best. Even if they win it, it's not looking good for Tottenham. But their fans, you have been brilliant for 6 years. You've been to a Champions League final, multiple FA Cup semis with Wembley as an advantage. You've had your chance to win trophies and try and build something, and you've done nothing to show for it. And the worst thing about it, Arsenal are moving forward with Arteta. The young players that we're buying, you can clearly see that they're looking at Arteta and going, you do realise he's here for a good 4-5 years, maybe 10. Look at the players that we're signing, young, upcoming, plenty of time for them to get together. Arteta is building a serious team. I'm not saying 100% back him. I know Daniel does, but I want to see what he does. And I think he's going to shut a lot of people up, including me, this season coming, if everything goes right in this window. But for Tottenham, just suck it up. Suck it up.
And this is where it gets bad to worse for Tottenham. And I have just been told this. You know that Japanese centre-back, Yasu, whatever his name is linked with him, from Bologna?
Yeah.
I've heard he's now considering his options, either Atlanta from Italy, or Spurs. He's not desired either one or the other. He's split now. Which one is he going to go for? Atalanta or Tottenham? I think that is going to be. I think that's even crazier to think that the young Japanese centre back is even considering his options now over Tottenham or another Italian side. Surely, I'm not saying Tottenham are a great side. Obviously, we're Arsenal fans, but I'm saying surely you take Tottenham all day long instead of deciding which one or the other.
It's like, what's that centre back? When did they sign that? Is it not Rodri? What's his name? Bloody hell.
What position?
It's Welsh.
Rodden. Rodden.
They're already looking at selling him.
Yeah, Joe Rodden is on his way out, I've heard.
Yeah, they're looking at selling him. And Ndombele has told Tottenham that he wants to leave.
Yep.
But they need their stars to sign contracts so they can basically sell them on for more, because they are good players in different teams. Difference is it's running out for Tottenham. They've had their chance for the last 6 years. I know people said that their stadium's better than the Emirates. It is. It shits all over the Emirates. I don't care what anyone says. It does. It is a better stadium than the Emirates.
Not really.
I'll happily say that. But it's going to absolutely cripple them. Yeah. And I guarantee you now, in 24-25, you will see Tottenham in the Championship. And it'll be financial reasons why they're there.
I guarantee they're going to be in the Championship.
And Guendouzi is going to be Ballon d'Or winner.
No, honestly, look at the situation that Tottenham are in. I'm not bantering. I'm trying to be serious with you. You're in financial ruins.
I'm just saying also, I
know someone that was working on the construction site of their ground, and he's told me that the contracts that they gave were absolutely such a shit show. Sorry for swearing, but they were. That's why there were so many months behind on that stadium. And so much money has been lost. And they've not even been paid yet, some of the construction. They've not got their full money because they can't do it. And you might laugh at that, but I've spoke to someone that worked on it.
Yeah. Now, I've also heard, that Joe Roden, you were saying that they're looking to sell. Brighton, 11 million.
Brighton, that's the one. I knew it was something.
11 million.
Yeah, because they're looking at for Ben White.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought Brighton were looking at that Loic Blank guy from Lens.
They've looked at both, but they've gone with, obviously, the Tottenham one because he's already had a season in the Premier League and he's done well in the Euros. He was probably Wales' best player for me. He is a really good centre-back. Telling you, Tottenham are not going to like it in the next few years.
Yeah,
is Will a Tottenham fan or an England Arsenal fan?
I think he's an Arsenal fan. I don't know. We'll have to see.
But yeah, Guendouzi is going to be Ballon d'Or winner.
I'm thinking that guy's a baller. That lad's a baller.
And Xhaka is the best player in the world, according to Simon, yeah?
Simon, you and your out there
Hang on a minute. Hang on, guys. Dan, I've got to say this. Live on stream. Camavinga or Lokonga, Simon?
Lokonga. But Camavinga is an awesome.
Right, Camavinga or Locatelli? Who's your first now?
I can't
He's in
hear
love with both. Camavinga or Locatelli. He's in love with both.
I've had a shave, so I'm not looking like him now.
Yeah. Okay, Will's an Arsenal fan. Good. But, okay.
No, I'm just saying, mate. I ain't got an issue. I've not got no issue with Locatelli. I think he would kind of work on the same level with Partey, but I think he would struggle in the Premier League. But it's been funny watching the meltdown. It's been brilliant watching everyone. Daniel's rants to me, I will cherish those.
I don't do mine publicly though.
On my WhatsApp. Absolute quality. Best highlight at month for me. Brilliant. But
I think your Xhaka celebration is the best one, or the Lokonga song. We've got to talk about the Lokonga song, Dan. Come on.
That's going round the Emirates. That I can't wait till that goes round behind the nets.
You heard the song.
It'd be sick.
Yeah.
Okay, Cam's heard the song. At least we're not just all out of the loop.
I wait till the Super ends. I'll be singing.
I want to see, what's your... did you mention your opinion on Lokonga? I just can't remember if you did, Cam, or not. It's been pretty quiet.
No, yeah, I think for what you were describing of a player, I think we need that in the team with potential. But I think Basuma's number one. We get him in. Yeah. That's what we need.
Yeah.
Not Locatelli. Not what he's got.
If you can tell.
I'll go to Brighton myself and I'll pick him up if we can't afford the travel.
Yeah, literally. The thing is... I'm surprised no club is interested in Basuma. He's been offered to every top 6 club. I'm not even joking. Every top 6 club.
As I said, they are though. Every club's in for him, but he wants Arsenal.
Yeah, I think he's rebuffed every single club. He said no. Fam. Anyway, that's what I'm gonna end the show, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Cam. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Simon, for joining.
It's coming home.
It's coming home. Yes. We're going to do this.
Let's wait till after Belgium.
I want to wait. Arsenal still have announced Nuno Tavares. Arsenal are going to hopefully announce Lokonga very soon. And Ben White. There's still lots to discuss. I'm even seeing on Twitter this FC Arsenal saying that, making some waffle excuse about... Have you seen the chat, Cam, about Emil Smith-Rowe?
Yeah, I just want to make clear, though, guys, and this is from Dan and I would say more than anyone. But thanks for all your support. Like, we've grown in the space of a month already, nearly 500 followers on Twitter. I would say growth.
Oh yeah, guys, follow Cam. Let's get Cam moving. Let's up his channel.
Follow Simon for his lyrical banter. I'll just say that too.
Yeah, only follow me if you want to. I'm not asking anyone to follow.
Simon for lyrical genius.
My account up. But the messages I do get is hilarious, apart from inbox.
Out of curiosity, how much will it take you to put songwriter in your bio? We've got to get that sorted. Oh.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'm trying to mute right now. I'll see you guys soon. Don't forget, we'll be doing spaces.
Well, we could pause to
we'll
tell. Here's one
still
thing
be
we
doing
could,
YouTube videos.
yeah, we could do maybe YouTube videos on the weekends and then spaces during the week, maybe.
I think that's better.
I think that's much better for all of us.
We could do a YouTube video on Saturday, a YouTube video on Sunday, and we could do spaces in the week because we can set
I
them
think
up.
that makes it so much easier.
We'll let you know
when
when the spaces.
I do that constant
We'll let
message.
you know when the spaces.
When's the space? When's the space? There's no schedule, but we'll look into.
We'll let you guys know. We'll let you guys know. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
See ya.
Cheers.